Hey gamers, how's it going? I'm Steven from The Armed Gamer, and this is Armed Gamer Off the Cuff, where I'm just going to kind of talk about random shenanigans and bullshit. Just whatever's on my mind, and I guess today I wanted to talk about turn-based gaming, or turn-based RPGs. I think last week it was, one of my freelancers, Emily, did a piece about Are Turn-Based RPGs Dead? Or I think it was called Are Turn-Based Games Dead? And in short, she seems to come to the conclusion that, in many respects, there's no need for turn-based games anymore. Turn-based games, I think, are dormant, honestly. I think that if you look at indie developers, I think that they can go ahead and make much more exciting games that are turn-based and explore new things that we haven't in the turn-based mechanics. Oh, woohoo! Left turn! Let's go. We're also kind of seeing that with Child of Light, which, that's a turn-based game. Absolutely beautiful, taking use of its limited budget to give us absolutely beautiful scenes, a really interesting story, and just in general, they're actually kind of doing something interesting with, I'd almost even call it isometric turn-based, the way that you can, in real time pick up certain things to give you power-ups while you're playing a turn-based game. Again, I don't think they're dead. If you had asked me like 5 years ago, do I think top-down isometric RPGs are dead? I think a bunch of people, possibly myself included, would have said, yeah, I haven't seen one of those in forever. Like, it used to be like Baldur's Gate, Shadowrun, the original Fallout. Those were like the awesome top-down isometric RPGs. Even, arguably Diablo 2, but we hadn't really seen that. And now we're kind of seeing a resurgence of that, especially in the indie scene with Shadowrun Returns, Path of Exile, Torchlight. Granted, those last Path of Exile and Torchlight more ARPGs, but again, Shadowrun Returns, and I would even argue a few others are falling into that isometric RPG, that top-down isometric RPG that is actually a really great return to nostalgia and what we had seen previously. And Kickstarter, again, has been a huge boost to the indie scene and bringing back some of these genres that many people kind of written off, but people still wanted to see, even if they couldn't sustain themselves as a AAA title, they can totally sustain themselves as an indie title. And that's why I can't say that the genre is dead. It's dormant, it's resting. I think we'll see a resurgence of turn-based RPGs the more indie developers kind of sit down and start to explore with them. I could even say the same thing about other games, or other genres, I should say. Like, I don't think the music genre a la Rock Band or Guitar Hero is dead either. I think that's just, we're just waiting on that. Same for, other genres that are dead. I'm driving, I can't really think of them off the cuff, which, this is why it's Armed Gamer Off the Cuff. This is just me kind of sitting down and talking bullshit to entertain myself while I drive to the office, which, that's 22 minutes away, so obviously not all of this footage is going to be used. If any of it is. We'll see if I get pulled over for having a tripod in my passenger seat, but I think I mentioned that before. And now I am turning onto... No, not this road. Not this road. I am turning onto the next exit. Woo! So... I feel like there are so many new ways we can use turn-based mechanics to extend narratives, to make the games better that we haven't really explored, because back in the day it was either just like a card game essentially. Oh, I use this ability, I use this ability, and then we kind of saw with Final Fantasy Tactics it became something more akin to Stratego, let's go Stratego, where you can move pieces around the board. Certain pieces were better than other pieces. Your positioning actually mattered. It was like a combination of Stratego, chess, and like an RPG like Dungeons and Dragons, and that was really cool. And that still used turn-based mechanics, and that at the time was kind of actually really big. It actually showed a change in the turn-based formula that was exciting and fun and innovative at the time. So, and I feel like that came on the PS1 days when people were already kind of starting to question turn-based RPGs. Like, it worked really well with Final Fantasy 7 and 8 and 9, but as graphics got better, people were like, do we need those anymore? We could do some really cool things with live action. We don't really need all the power to put into these amazing cutscenes, because we can just have the whole game be one long cutscene. That was really cool. But Final Fantasy Tactics came along, like, yes, this game is beautiful. It was wonderfully illustrated. It had really cool gameplay elements behind it, and I think that's that in itself is something worth exploring. We're kind of seeing it used on the mobile space a lot, because mobile space actually does have the graphical and processing limitations. The 3DS, the PlayStation Vita, those have those limitations where having good solid turn-based games makes sense. Pokemon Conquest, actually, now that I think about it, really good turn-based tactics-oriented game that was an RPG. It had some really cool, interesting elements where it combined tactics with the Pokemon formula, where you could catch the Pokemon. Again, to kind of end this and cap it off, because at this point I'm honestly just rambling. Though, again, is everything I'm doing just rambling? I feel like that's what this entire segment is just Steven from the Armed Gamer rambles. So, to kind of cap this off, no, turn-based RPGs are not dead. They aren't exactly thriving, and we aren't seeing too much great innovation yet, but I think that's a yet. We're gonna see more of it coming soon. Either we take a huge leap in graphics power, where utilizing the full amount of graphics doesn't make sense in a live action sense. We go back to turn-based to show some beautiful games, or we look at the indie scene or the mobile space to find some new way to transform it, to make the mechanics mean more, or to utilize mechanics in a new and innovative way. So I think that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I am still 18 minutes out from the office. I'm Steven from the Armed Gamer, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Rate this if you liked it, or even if you didn't. Subscribe to the channel, and yeah, keep an eye out for more. I'm gonna keep doing this until I get pulled over for it. Even then, I might still keep doing this. I'm gonna keep trying to kind of improve it, because right now I just have my shotgun mic dangling because the tripod's too high and the camera's too big to really fit it. So I'm gonna experiment and see what happens. Yeah, so I'll catch you guys next time. This was Armed Gamer Off the Cuff.